Hi, my dear students. Welcome back to my class. Hope everyone are fine. So today I'm starting with the day 16 crash course for the lesson metals and non-metals. So dear students, as you all know that, so I have started free science crash course for your SSLC 2022 board examination preparation. So we have completed all the biology lessons and I have started chemistry. And in chemistry, we have completed the chemical reactions and equations and also acids, bases and salts. And in day 15, that is on very good morning, my dear students. I think everyone are in line. So in day 15 crash course, I have completed metals and non-metals lesson completely. So in today's class, I'm going to continue with the frequently asked questions or the most expected questions from the lesson metals and non-metals. So I say good morning to each and everyone once again who are present in today's class. So today's class is very important, dear students. So you will be knowing which are the frequently asked questions, which are the important questions from the lesson metals and non-metals lesson. And one more important thing you all wanted to know is, already I have informed about this, that in the metals and non-metals lesson, the entire lesson is not considered for your examination. Okay, only up to occurrence of metals, it is there for your examination. Up to occurrence of metals. So if we look at the weightage for this particular lesson, see both in the state level preparatory examination as well as in the model question paper, from the lesson metals and non-metals, 5 marks questions are being asked. That means the total weightage for this particular lesson is 5 marks. So you will get 5 marks if you study only half of the lesson, metals and non-metals. Okay. And if you are new to my channel and if you have not watched the previous crash courses, so I have attached it in the description box below. The playlist link is given. So whenever you're free, you can watch. So you can also watch the scoring packages, lab activities, and I also have uploaded how to draw the diagrams in an easy way. All the biology diagrams and physics diagrams are also mentioned. So do watch those videos whenever you're free. If you're not finding easy to write the diagrams. Yes. Very good morning, my dear students. Now, I'm going to continue the important things that we want to discuss in today's class. Yes. So, as you all know that when it comes to most frequently asked question or the important question, I always give first preference for the questions which is being given in the board examinations. Okay. So, let us discuss now. See, when we look at the board question paper, dear students, so in the previous year and all, they had given more importance for calcination, roasting, and refining of metal. But unfortunately, this year, that topic is not included for that is examination. Roasting, calcination, oxidation, and refining of metal topics are deleted. So we are going to look forward to understand some of the important topics which frequently given the examination apart from the deleted concepts today. That is the one important thing you have to keep it in mind. Okay. On the basis of that, I will discuss. And there is some extra to your pocket, as every day I am discussing in the most frequently asked, videos. There are some extra questions which I am going to discuss with you in the class. Yes. So the first question, dear students, ionic compounds in the solid state do not conduct electricity, whereas in the molten state, they are the good conductors of electricity. Give reason, they are asking. So in the examination, they have asked, this is based on the properties of ionic compounds. See, when we look at the previous year examination question paper, they had given more importance for this particular topic called ionic compounds. Ionic compounds ke tumbane importance kottidare. Okay. So, can you give the reason what is the importance that ionic compounds only conduct electricity in the molten state? They are the good conductors only in the molten state. So, Venkatesh has given the answer. In the solid shape, due to the rigid, okay, it is not possible in the molten state. Okay, somehow you try to manage the answer. Very good, Venkatesh. Yes, very good. So what might be the answer? Yes. See, in the ionic compounds, in the solid state do not conduct electricity. Why? Because, see, the movement of ions in the solid state is not possible. Why? Because due to the rigid structure. See, the molecules have the rigid structure in the solid state. There is no movement of molecules between each other. That is the reason. Okay. That is the reason in the solid state they are hard. Okay. And there is strong force of attraction between them, children. There is strong force of attraction between them. So that is the reason in the solid state it is not possible for the ionic compounds to conduct the electricity. In the solid state it is not possible. Yesterday I was telling about the salt. I think you have remember the crash course. Okay. But in the molten state, suppose if we think this as salt, okay, and if it drops some amount of water to it, what happens? It will start to melt. So in the molten state, the electrostatic force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions will overcome. Or when we heat, what happen? It will overcome. Okay. So that's what happened. The ions start to move freely and they will conduct electricity. It is possible for them to conduct the electricity. That is the one thing you all have to understand, dear students. Okay. It is very important to understand. See, ionic compounds in the solid state do not conduct electricity. What will you write in the examination? In the examination, you will write, because the movement of ions in the solid state is not possible due to the rigid structure. Okay. And there is strong force of attraction between the molecules in the solid state. But in the molten state, what happened? The force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions will overcome. Thus, what happened? The ions will move freely and they will conduct electricity. So, this is what you will write in the examination, dear students. This is what you will write in the examination. I think you are clear with this concept. You are clear with this, right? Shall I go for next question? So, are you clear with this concept? Shall I go for next question? Yes. The next question is, chemical reactions does not take place when copper is added to iron sulfate solution. You all know that you have come across few displacement reaction in this particular lesson. Yes. See, when copper react to, the iron sulfate, let us take copper. So, when we drop the copper to the iron sulfate is nothing but FeSO4. This particular question is asked in the 2019 public examination, dear students. So when copper is being dropped to ferrous sulfate solution, okay, chemical reaction does not take place is the question. So for this you have to give reason. Why? It is because, see, copper is less reactive. Copper is a metal which is less reactive in nature. So copper being less reactive, okay, so it does not show any kind of reaction when it is dropped into the iron surface, that is iron sulfate solution. So copper cannot displace the iron from the iron sulfate solution because copper is less reactive, iron is more reactive. You can ask now, you may get one question now. Ma'am, how do we come to know that copper is less reactive, iron is more reactive? I have taught everything this in yesterday's class. I told you, you want to learn about the metals in the reactivity series. Reactivity series of metal you have to learn. Which is more reactive, which is less reactive. The reactivity series, if you learn, it is very easy. So if you know, see, when it comes to this particular question, copper is less reactive, iron is more reactive. That is why no reaction takes place when copper is dropped into the iron sulfate solution. That is what you will write in the examination. Okay, I think you are clear with this concept, dear students. So now let me explain you the next question which is asked in the board examination. See, in the next, when we look at 2019 supplementary examination, they have asked, write the balanced chemical equation for the reaction that is taking place when aluminium react with the dilute hydrochloric acid. See, this particular topic is related to metals and non-metals only. Because reaction of aluminum with hydrochloric acid, we have come across amphoteric oxide. Okay, so and we also have come across some metals reacting with dilute hydrochloric acid, or metals react with acid. So there we have learnt about few metals react with the dilute hydrochloric acid. And dear students, you all know that how to balance the equation. So let me see who will give first answer for balancing the equation. Take a rough paper and immediately balance this equation and put your answers in the comment area. I'm waiting for your answers. So this is very important, dear students. Yes. So Artisam has given the right answer. 2Al plus 6HCl gives rise to 2AlCl3, that is aluminum chloride, plus 3H2. Very good, very good. Absolutely right answer. It is a correct answer. Yes. See, when we look at the reaction of aluminum between hydrochloric acid, so firstly you have to write the aluminum. Okay, write aluminum. In examination, this is what you want to follow, children. Write aluminum first. Aluminum is reacting with the hydrochloric acid, right? HCl, H, C and also L. So when aluminum reacting with hydrochloric acid, we get aluminum chloride. The formula of aluminum chloride is AlCl3, AlCl3. Along with this, there is also liberation of which gas? Hydrogen gas. Dear students, I have taught you how to balance the equation. First, what you will write, what is present in LHS, that is reactants. So you have to write aluminum, okay, then you will write hydrogen, and then you will write the chlorine. And then now you will write the same thing in the product side also. Aluminum is there, hydrogen is there, and also chlorine is present. Now it is time to calculate the number of atoms present in both the reactant as well as the product side. Here there is only one atom of aluminum. Here there are one atom of hydrogen, one atom of chlorine. What about in the product? We have one aluminum, two hydrogen. You can check there are two hydrogen atoms and there is three chlorine atoms, AlCl3, three chlorine atoms. See, if you look at this, we have to balance both hydrogen as well as chlorine. Where is hydrogen? Where is chlorine? It is present in this particular region. Dear students, now see, there is how many atoms of chlorine? 3 atoms of chlorine. There is 2 atoms of hydrogen. So if I write now 2 here, what happened? So chlorine will not increase in its number. So I have to first now balance the chlorine. So to balance chlorine, if I write 3, what I'm let us now this is a trial and error method. Okay, firstly let us write 3. If we write 3, what happened? So the number of hydrogen atoms will increase to 3 and the chlorine atoms also will increase to 3. Now what happened? As chlorine atom is increasing its number to 3, what happened? Chlorine is increasing, but hydrogen has imbalance. Look at hydrogen atom. So now there are 2 in the product side, but 3 in the reactant side. Now what happened? You have to now again balance the hydrogen. To balance hydrogen, so there are 2 atoms of hydrogen here. So let us now write, okay, 3 in front of hydrogen. If we write 3 in front of hydrogen, 3 2s are 6. We got 6 atoms of hydrogen. So now let us write 6 atoms of hydrogen here. So again, children, see, we got imbalance. You see, if I write 2, you would have a question. If the question is why ma'am 3? You could have written 2 also. If you write 2, again what happened? It was becoming 4. So it was not balancing. Okay. So now directly I have written 3. What happened? Number of hydrogen atoms has increased it to 6. So again, now 6 atoms of hydrogen has to be written in the reactant side also. So what to do to get 6 atoms of hydrogen? Take out this 3 which you have written in front of the that is yes, this particular region, hydrochloric acid, and write just 6 in front of this. So what happened? Just observe now. So as you have written 6 in front of HCl, you can observe now 6 into H is 6H, okay, 6 into Cl is 6Cl. Observe now, number of chlorine atoms has increased and hydrogen has balanced. Hydrogen is balanced. What about chlorine? We got 6 atoms of chlorine in the reactant side, but in the product side, we are getting only 3 atoms of chlorine. So we have to balance it. How do you balance? See, if you look at the chlorine in the product side, it is attached to aluminum. So to get 6 atoms of chlorine, you want to multiply 2 for chlorine. Okay. So just write 2 in front of aluminum. Now what happened? 2 into Al. Now 2 Al and 2 3s are 6 we got. 6 atoms of chlorine we got. So now hydrogen and chlorine is balanced. What about aluminum? Aluminum is not balanced. So we want to get 2 atoms of aluminum in the reactant side. So just multiply 2 to aluminum. Okay. So you get 2 Al in the reactant side also. So this is how you want to balance the chemical equation, dear students. I think you got an idea. Okay. So in the previous classes also I have taught you. Chemical reaction is a trial and error method. Okay. So it's a trial and error method. So you have to keep on doing the trial and error in the reactant side as well as in the product side. Finally, you will get the answer. Fine. So this is one thing you want to write, children. See, this is a balance equation. 2Al plus 6HCl gives rise to 2AlCl3 plus 3H2 is the equation you want to write for this. Next, hydrogen gas is not liberated when a metal react with the concentrated nitric acid. Give reason. Yesterday, I was stressing about this particular concept, dear students. I think you all have remembered. I told you. See, any metal, when it is dropped into the acid, it releases hydrogen gas. But when metal is dropped into the nitric acid, it does not release the hydrogen gas. I told you the reason behind this. Okay. So, first correct answer is given by the Kraft Home followed by Artism, and Mamata also has given the right answer. It is because, see, the nitric acid, that is the HNO3, nitric acid is the strong oxidizing agent. Nitric acid is the strong oxidizing agent. That is the reason, see, when a metal is dropped into the nitric acid, there is no liberation of hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is not liberated. So that is the one important thing you all have to know, dear students. Yes, because it is a strong oxidizing agent. So this is asked in the 2019 public examination. Yes. Now let us understand the next and most important question. Show the formation of sodium chloride and also the magnesium chloride with the help of electron dot structure. So, and this particular question is asked in the 2019 public exam and also 2022 model paper. Dear students, as I told you, this lesson has the 5 marks weightage. So they may also ask this particular question for 3 or 4 marks. Okay, in this lesson, most important topic is formation of sodium chloride and magnesium chloride with the electron dot structure for high marks, and also the ionic compound property. So these are the 2 important topics which has the high weightage in this particular lesson. So you want to concentrate on both the concept. It's a very important concept in your examination. I already told you how to write the formation of sodium chloride and magnesium chloride in crash course. So very quickly I will glance. See, children. So before, when you are writing formation of sodium chloride and magnesium chloride, what you want to do is first you want to write the sodium and you want to write the electronic configuration of sodium. See, the electronic configuration of sodium is 2, 8, 1. Okay. And also, see, if you look at the outer shell of sodium, it is not stable. So if the sodium has to obtain the stability, it has to lose 1 electron. Why it has to lose 1 electron? Because if it has to obtain stability, there should be 8 electrons in its outermost orbit. But for the atom, nucleus of the sodium, it is difficult to take 7 electrons to make 8. So, but it can easily lose 1. So now what happens? Sodium will easily lose 1 electron. So Na becomes Na plus. By losing, Na becomes Na plus. So now Na plus is having only 2, 8 electrons. Okay, because it has lost 1 electron and it formed the cation. So you have to mention that 1 electron which is being lost. Okay, similarly, chlorine. When we talk about chlorine, what happened? See, the electronic configuration of chlorine is 2, 8, 7. This is how we want to write in examination. Hige baribeku ನೀವು exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay na? So now if you look at the outermost orbit of chlorine, it has 7 valence electron. So to become 8, chlorine need only 1 electron. So what do chlorine do? Now the chlorine will take the 1 electron. So chlorine will take 1 electron. See, you have to add 1 electron to chlorine. Electrons are negatively charged, so you have to represent by E minus. So now what happened? So chlorine is adding 1 electron. So Cl becomes Cl minus. That means it is now changing to its anion. Cl is becoming Cl minus. So Cl minus is having now 2,8,8 electrons because it has added by 1 electron. And one more thing you want to remember here, children. See, Na plus is more stable than Na. Cl minus is more stable than Cl because you can observe that the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit. Next, what you will do, now you will write the electron dot structure for this particular thing. See, sodium. So when we write electron dot structure, sodium is having only 1 electron on its outermost orbit, children. Write its electron. Followed by what happened? Chlorine. Chlorine is having how many valence electron? Look at here. Chlorine is having 7 valence electron. So represent this by star. As you have represented the sodium by dot, represent this by star. So there is no confusion for you. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 valence electrons are on the chlorine. Now what happened? To make it stable, sodium is transferring 1 electron to chlorine. Sodium is transferring 1 electron to chlorine. So by transferring 1 electron, what is happening? Transfer ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Na plus ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Okay, because it has lost 1 electron. By losing 1 electron, Na is becoming Na plus. ಹೀಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು. Na plus ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Okay ನಾ? So next Cl ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? See, Cl, okay, it has already 7 valence electron on its orbit. That is 1, okay, then 2, then 3, okay, then 4, then 5. I just write roughly here. Okay, then 6 and also 7 valence electrons are there. So 1 electron ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಇದು sodium ಇಂದ ತಗೊಳ್ತು. Write that 1 electron which is being gained. So by receiving 1 electron, Cl is becoming Cl minus. Okay na? So ಇದನ್ನ important ಆಗಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು dear students. ನೋಡಿ 7 electrons ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ receive ಆಗಿರುವಂತ electron along with its charge ಬರಿಬೇಕು. So this is how you will write in the examination the formation of sodium chloride. ಹೀಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Sodium chloride ನ ಒಂದು formation ಹೀಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. It is very very important. Okay. So this is all about sodium chloride. Understand? Suppose if this is asked for 4 mark, ಆಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ half marks ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಫ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೋಟಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 1. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ 2019 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ sodium chloride as well as the magnesium chloride. Okay, so this is all about the the sodium chloride. So when we talk about the magnesium chloride, ಈಗ magnesium chloride ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು? So what is the formula of magnesium chloride? ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ರಾಶ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Formula of magnesium chloride is MgCl2. Formula of magnesium chloride is MgCl2. But sodium chloride is NaCl. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Yes. The magnesium chloride ಬರ್ದಾಗ magnesium is having electronic configuration that is 2,8,2. This is the electronic configuration of magnesium chloride. Hege? Because the atomic number is 12. So magnesium has 2 extra electrons in its outermost orbit. So to become stable, magnesium needs 6 more electrons. So magnesium, for nucleus of magnesium, it is difficult to take 6 electrons. So it will easily lose the 2 electrons. So what do magnesium do? Magnesium loses 2 electrons easily. By losing 2 electrons, ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Mg is becoming Mg2 plus. Mg ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Mg2 plus ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. It is very important, dear students. So by losing 2 electron, Mg is becoming Mg2 plus. So Mg2 plus is now more stable than Mg. So because it has only 2 and 8 electrons. So 2 electrons is been lost. ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ mention ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. You have to mention it. Okay na? Next. Magnesium chloride ಅಲ್ವಾ? So chlorine ಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ chlorine ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ? Chlorine electronic configuration 2,8,7. It loses, it gains 1 electron and it obtains the stability and it will become Cl minus. Mg ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. Cl as it is ನೀವು sodium chloride ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ Cl ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. But most of the students ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Most of the students have problem at this particular region. See, as it is only 1 Cl here, they write MgCl. So it becomes wrong. How do you write it? You have to write the magnesium. So magnesium has 2 extra electrons. So you will write this extra electron its orbit of magnesium. So ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. And then ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Chlorine. So chlorine MgCl2 ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you have to write 2Cl. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. 2Cl you will write. So each chlorine is having the 7 valence electron. Each chlorine is having the 7. So 4, then 5, and then 6, and also the 7 valence electron the chlorine is having. And this chlorine is also having the 7 valence electron. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now both the chlorine atoms need 1 valence electron. So which is on magnesium, 2 valence electron which is extra on magnesium will be transferred. So this electron will get transferred to this chlorine atom, and this electron will get transferred to this chlorine atom. Ee reeti transfer agutte. Transfer agi enagta ide, it will form the MgCl2. How MgCl2 is formed? By donating 2 electrons, by transferring 2 electrons. So Mg has obtained a stability, that is Mg2 plus MgNi2, Mg2 plus I2. What about Cl? ClNi2, Cl minus 2 minus agutte. Hege baritira important. But firstly, you have to write the chlorine atoms, and then you will write the 7 valence electrons present on the chlorine atoms. 7 valence electron anna barkoltira. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 valence electron anna ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. And then this one chlorine atom ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು valence electron ಬೇಕು? 1 chlorine atom ಗೆ 1 valence electron ಬೇಕು. Okay. So by obtaining this, what happened? Chlorine has achieved to get the anion. How many chlorine atoms are there? There are totally 2 chlorine atoms in the magnesium chloride. So you will put the whole bracket and write 2 here. Most of you will write in the examination 2 inside the bracket. It is wrong. 2 you always have to write the outside the bracket, not the inside bracket. Understand? So Mg, by transferring 2 electrons, it obtained the Mg2 plus, and this which is forming the cation. Cl, by gaining 2 electrons, it is becoming Cl minus. So you have to put whole bracket and write 2. So this is how you write the magnesium chloride's electron dot structure in the examination to get the full marks. Understand? Very important, dear students. So now moving to next question. See, which physical property of the metals are used in the following situation, they will ask. Very important. Yesterday I was telling you, dear students, I think you remember. Based on the physical properties, you can be asked some question. That means they ask questions in the examination based on the physical properties of the metal. Okay. See, gold is used to make the ornaments. Most of you are answering. Very good. I appreciate your involvement. Most of you are answering the question. Okay. So gold is used to make the ornament. Which property of the which has the gold is make it to manufacture or to prepare the ornaments? Which property? Yes. Very good. Most of you are answering. Lustrous is the right answer. Lustrous, gold is the lustrous metal, and it is also highly malleable. It is also highly malleable. See, you have to know very importantly 2 things. When it comes to gold, it is also having the lustrous property. Because gold is shiny, we will use the gold as ornament. Because gold is shiny, that is why we will use the gold as the ornament. Okay. So very importantly, you want to know. Yes. Next question they have asked is, nickel is used in the strings of guitar. Why nickels are used in the strings of guitar? Why nickel is used in the strings of guitar? Yes? Very good. See, when it comes to gold, you have to write both the lustrous property as well as the ductility property. But when we talk about ornaments, you have to write the lustrous. ತುಂಬಾ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. As gold is luster, it is used in the ornaments. Yes. If it is not having any shiny nature, we were not using it as the ornament. That is one important thing you want to know. Yes. When it comes to nickel is used in the strings of the guitar. Why? So what is the property of the nickel? Yes. Very good. Ductility. Most of you are saying sonorous. Yes, of course, the metals produce the sound, but what is the property of string? String is nothing but the thin wire, dear students. Most of you are giving sonorous as an answer. See, string is nothing but the thin wire. As it is nothing but the thin wire, so the property of metal which can be drawn into thin wire, it is called as ductility. As it is very much ductile in nature, so what happened? The nickel is used as a string in the guitar. So ductility is one property we have to remember when it comes to, strings, because strings is nothing but the wire. Strings is nothing but the wire. Very importantly, you want to understand, children, because sometimes you are getting confused. So because these metals have both the sonorous property, the ductility property, and when it comes to gold, they are also having the lustrous property, malleability property. But look at the one important close related word. Ornament means as it is shiny nature, that is why we wear it as ornament. So lustrous property. Strings, that is nothing but they are the wire. Okay, that means they have the ductility property. You have to write the very close related answer. Understand? So this is which is asked in the 2020 public examination, dear students. Now let us answer the next question which is asked in the 2020 public examination, which is a very important question, dear students. That is, what are amphoteric oxides? What is meant by amphoteric oxides? So the correct answer is firstly given by the Revanna, followed by Kraftholm, Tanu, and one more person, SK, is giving right answer, followed by Umesh, Flex Gaming League, Mamata is also giving right answer. Amphoteric oxides is nothing but the metal oxides which react with both the acids as well as the bases. Metal oxides which react with both acids as well as bases, it is called as amphoteric oxide, dear students. You want to note down very important topic is this, and you also have to know at this moment the examples for amphoteric oxide, that is aluminum oxide and zinc oxide. In this question they have not asked it, but you have to know, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು example for amphoteric oxide. So metal oxide which react with both acids and base to give rise to salt and water is called as amphoteric oxide. Yes. Moving to now, we are moving to next important area, extra to your pocket. See, some of the question which I am telling you is very extra to your pocket now. You have to note down and you have to tell the answers for this particular question. Very important, dear students. Yes. Let us now talk with the first question. Name one less lustrous non-metal. Name, I repeat the question. Name one lustrous non-metal. Let me see who will answer. Very good. Most of you are answering. Name one lustrous non-metal. First correct answer is given by Aesthetic Girl, followed by Venkatesh, Thanushri, and one of you is giving the wrong answer, not the diamond. Diamond is not the lustrous non-metal. Okay. Iodine is the lustrous non-metal. Very importantly, you want to understand, children. In yesterday's crash course, I told you, iodine is the lustrous non-metal. Very importantly, you want to note down. Very good. So next question. Name two metals that are soft and that can be cut with the help of knife. Very good. So many are giving right answer. First correct answer is given by Thanu, followed by Ismail and also Spurti Mahesh, Aesthetic Girl, Kraftholm, Umesh, Venkatesh. Most of you are giving right answer. So the right answer here is, so sodium and potassium. Sodium stands for Na, okay, potassium K. Okay, these are the two metals which are soft and can be easily cut with the help of knife. Next question. Number of electrons gained or lost by the element is called as. What do we call it as? Number of electrons gained or lost by an element is called as. Correct answer is given by Shankar Patil. Very good, Shankar. I appreciate your involvement in giving the right answer. The right answer is valency, dear students. You want to know. See, I was talking about sodium and chlorine. So sodium has lost some electron and chlorine has gained some electron. So now number of electrons gained or lost by that particular element is called as valency. Valency is the right answer. Valency. Okay. Very importantly, you want to understand. It is valency. Yes. What is the process of depositing the zinc on the iron called? The next question. What is the metal that what is the process of depositing the zinc on the iron called? What do we call this process as? What is the process of depositing the zinc on iron called? Very good, very good. First correct answer is given by Pallavi, followed by Anand Kumar. And many of you have given the right answer. It is the galvanization, dear students. See, what is meant by galvanization? In galvanization, a thin layer of zinc metal is coated on the other things. Okay, so it is the galvanization process. Yes. So as they have mentioned, depositing the zinc on iron. So this particular process is called as galvanization. Name the metal that do not react with the water at all. The next question, name the metal that do not react with water at all. So most of you are giving an answer as copper, silver, gold. Yes. Along with this, one more metal is there. Along with this, one more metal is there. Because you have learnt about the reactivity series. The metals which react with the air, which react with the water, which react with the acids, and which also react with the salt solution. So metals which do not react with water at all. Okay, the right answer will be the 4 metals, children. One is the lead, which is represented as Pb, and second one is the copper, which is represented by Cu, and the next one is the silver, that is silver and gold, Au and Ag. Okay, silver and gold, Au and Ag. These are the 4 metals which do not react with water at all. Okay. Next, name 2 metals that are stored under kerosene. Name 2 metals that are stored under kerosene. So which are the 2 metals which stored under kerosene? I think you must also know the reason behind it. Okay, most of you are giving right answer. That is the sodium and potassium. Yes, because sodium and potassium are the highly reactive metal. When it is kept open in the air, what happens? They will catch the fire. That is why these 2 metals will be always stored under the kerosene oil. And one more question I have skipped here, children. That is question number 6. You can observe here. Name the ion made by the non-metals and name the ion made by the metals. Both the things you have to know. But here they are asking name the ions made by the non-metals. Non-metals, we have spoke about chlorine just now. See, chlorine by gaining 1 electron, it will form whether cation or anion, you must know. Cation is the ion which is having the positive charge. Anion is the ion which is having the negative charge. But here they are asking name the ion made by the non-metals. So non-metal will gain electron and it will form the anion. So because it is forming the negative charge. It is forming the negative charge. Very good. Most of you are answering correctly. Okay. Yes. And you have also already answered for the question number 7. That is, name the metals that are stored in the kerosene. Fine. So if we look at the arrangement of these metals in the increasing order of their reactivity. Okay. So tell me, copper, silver, aluminium. Okay. If we arrange these 3 metals in their reactivity series, which will be more reactive, which will be less reactive, you have to show it. So arrange these 3 metals in the reactivity series. Arrange copper, silver and aluminium in the increasing order of their reactivity series. So let me see who is answering first. Yes, most of you are giving right answers, students. So which is more reactive? Yes, correct. Aluminium is more reactive than copper and copper is more reactive than silver. So they are asking here to write the metals according to the increasing order of their reactivity series. Increasing. So increasing is nothing but first you have to write the least reactive metal. The least reactive metal is the silver. You have to write silver, that is represented by Ag. Ag is nothing but Argentinum. It's a Latin name. Okay. So silver is less reactive than copper. That means copper is more reactive. And copper is less reactive than aluminium. That is nothing but aluminium is more reactive. So we have to write in the increasing order. Okay. That means small to big. Okay. So this is how you will write. Very good. Most of you are answering correctly. Yes. So now let us go for the next question. Short type answer for 2 marks questions. Give reasons. Why pure gold is not suitable for making the ornaments? Why? What is the reason? Why pure gold is not suitable for making the ornaments? Most of you don't know about this because you say that we go to the shop and we buy very pure gold, which is no having the 916 hallmark on it, and we think that it's a pure form of gold. Actually, the pure form of gold is not suggested to manufacture the ornaments. What is the reason behind it? You must know what is the reason behind it. Very good. So most of you are giving right answer because the pure gold is soft in nature, dear students. Pure gold is soft in nature. So that is the reason it is not suitable for making the ornaments. Understand? Yes. Next question. Why electrical wires are coated with the PVC? Why electrical wires are coated with the PVC? What is meant by PVC? Polyvinyl chloride. Why electrical wires are coated with the PVC? Very good. Correct answer is given by SK. SK has given the right answer. Yes. See, electrical wires are coated with PVC because to prevent the shock. If electrical wires are not coated with the PVC, if we touch the wires when electricity is passing through it, definitely we will get shock. So to prevent the shock, the electrical wires are coated with the PVC. You want to understand this, students. So to prevent the shock, electrical wires are coated with the PVC. So the next question, why sodium is stored under kerosene? You already come across this particular concept because sodium is highly reactive metal. When it is kept open in the air, it will catch the fire. That is the reason sodium is kept under the kerosene. Okay, you have to know about this. Okay, it is a highly reactive metal. It reacts very vigorously. Yes. Next question, why magnesium ribbons start floating in the hot water? Very important topic. Yesterday in the crash course, I have taught about this particular concept, students. Why magnesium ribbons start flowing when it is reacting with the hot water? What is the reason behind it? You know that magnesium will not react with cold water, but it reacts with the hot water. But why the magnesium ribbons start floating in the hot water? Very good. Correct answer is given by Mujahidul Islam. He has given the first and right answer. Very good. Yes. See, the right answer is when we drop the magnesium in the hot water, dear students. So, magnesium will react with the hot water and it will form magnesium hydroxide. Okay. Here, the magnesium, that is the, the magnesium ribbon will start floating on the hot water. It is because, see, when it is reacting with the water, it releases the hydrogen gas. So here what happened? The bubbles of the hydrogen gas start sticking to the surface. Understand? So magnesium hydroxide will be formed along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So what happened? The magnesium will start sticking to the, bubbles of hydrogen gas. That is the reason it will, float on the hot water. That is the reason it will float on the hot water. Very important, children. You have to know both the calcium and magnesium. Okay. Calcium will react with the cold water, magnesium will react with the hot water. When calcium is dropped into the water, even calcium start flowing because of the bubbles of hydrogen gas formed. Okay, bubbles of hydrogen gas formed will stick to the surface of the metal. Understand? In both the cases, that is why they start floating on the water. You want to know the reason behind it. Very important. Understand? Yes. Next question, what are ionic compounds? What are ionic compounds? Very important topic. In yesterday's crash course, all these concepts I have explained you. What are ionic compounds? How can you define ionic compounds? I'm not talking about, yes, bond. I'm talking about the compounds. Yes, the correct answer is given by Mamata. Transfer of electrons from metal and non-metal to form the ionic compounds you are saying. But that has to be a little bit modified. Okay, let me see who will give the right answer. So my question is, I repeat the question, what are ionic compounds? Yes, Shankar Patil has given the very simple and correct answer. See, the compounds which are being formed by the sharing of electrons or transfer of electrons, we can say. Okay, compounds which are being formed by sharing of electrons or transfer of electrons, we will call it as the ionic compound. When it is asked for 1 mark only, you have to write so much, children. And it will be asked for 1 mark only. Okay, the compound which is being formed by the transfer of electrons, we will call it as ionic compounds. Yes, very good. Moving to next question, complete the following chemical equation. So you have to complete this. So here they have given iron combining with water. So you know that we have come across the metals reaction with the water. In that particular area, we have seen the reaction of iron with the water. See, when iron is dropped into the water, that means this will be in the form of steam. This water will be in the form of steam because iron does not react with the cold water as well as the hot water. So when iron is reacting with the steam, it will form Fe3O4. It will form Fe3O4. Along with this, there is also liberation of hydrogen gas. You want to complete the following equation. Very important, children. So it has to be balanced as there is 3Fe here. So 3Fe is already present in the product side also. And if you look at the oxygen, there is 4 atoms of oxygen. But here, only in the reactant side, there is 4 atoms of oxygen. And in the product side also, there is 4 atoms of oxygen. But if you look at hydrogen, 4 to the 8 atoms of hydrogen are present in the reactant side. But in the product, there are only 2. So to get 8 atoms of that is hydrogen in the product side also, we have to multiply here just 4. Okay, 4 to the 8. So everything is clear now. See, 3Fe, and 4 into oxygen is 4 atoms of oxygen. 4 to the 8 atoms of hydrogen in the reactant side as well as in the product side. So you have to balance it, children. Balancing is very important. Okay, you have to balance it. So many of you are answering very good. Okay. Next, calcium. Calcium, when it is combining with the water, it will form calcium hydroxide, that is the CaOH2. Calcium forms the calcium hydroxide, that is the CaOH2, along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Okay, along with the liberation of hydrogen gas, the calcium hydroxide will be formed. And if you look at this particular equation, so this is already now balanced. So let me see whether it is balanced or not once again. So calcium, we have 1 atom of calcium on either side, both in the reactant as well as the product. But yes, it is imbalanced. Yes, if you look at the hydrogen, there are 4 atoms of hydrogen totally in the product, but it is only 2 atoms of hydrogen here. So to make it 4, let us write 2 in front of the, hydrogen in the reactant side. Now 4 atoms of hydrogen is there. What about oxygen? There is 2 atoms of oxygen here. So, but here we have only, so this is not oxygen. Let me remove this. Yeah, hydrogen gas. So this is now balanced. Yes. Yes. I think you are clear with this concept, children. So moving to next, we have potassium reacting with the water. See, potassium, when it is reacted with the water, we get KOH, that is the potassium hydroxide. KOH, we will get the potassium hydroxide along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So if you check whether it is balanced or not, it is not balanced. See, you have to check out the number of hydrogen atoms and also oxygen atoms. So it is not balanced. How to balance it? Write 2K in front of potassium and you have to write 2H2O. Okay. And also you have to write 2KOH. So now it is balanced. How to balance? Already I have taught you, children. Please, you have to, write in a sheet of paper and balance. It is very easy. See, potassium is reacting with water. Potassium is reacting with water. Okay. So I'll just show you because many of you are having confusion, ma'am. Why are you not balancing and writing directly? Okay. So we have received KOH, that is potassium hydroxide. Okay. Along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. This is what we have received. So what you have to do, you have to write the number of atoms present in both the reactant side as well as the product side. So write potassium, write hydrogen, write oxygen. Even in the product side, write potassium, write hydrogen, write oxygen. Okay. If you write, there is 1 atom of potassium on either side of the reactant as well as product. When it comes to hydrogen, there are 2 atoms of hydrogen here, but there are 3 atoms of hydrogen in the product side. When it comes to oxygen, there is only 1 atom of oxygen here. Here also there is 1 atom of oxygen. Dear students, if you look at hydrogen, number of hydrogen atoms are more. Where it is more in the product side. So we have to balance the hydrogen. So when we start to balance hydrogen, see in the reactant side, so if we have to balance the hydrogen, we have to write number in front of this. So let's write 2. Okay, if we write 2 in front of this, So 2 2s are 4, we got 4 atoms of hydrogen, and 2 into oxygen, we got 2 atoms of oxygen now. So now again what happened, the number of hydrogen atoms are increased in the reactant side compared to the product side. Again we have to now balance. Okay, so if we have to balance, let us now write. Okay, so already potassium is balanced, but oxygen atoms is not balanced. So let us now write 2 in front of the KOH to balance the oxygen atom. So automatically hydrogen also we can balance. So 2 into K, now we have got 2K. Okay, 2 into O, we got 2O, that is 2 oxygen atoms. 2 into H, we got 2H plus H2, we got 4. So now you can observe oxygen and also the hydrogen is also balanced. What about potassium? Potassium is imbalanced. So to balance potassium, write in front of potassium 2. So that what happened, you get 2 atoms of potassium in front of the reactant side also. So this is how you want to balance it. Any equation which is given in your examination, write the number of elements or the elements present in both the reactant side as well as the product side. After writing the elements present in the reactant side as well as the product side, now you have to write the number of atoms present in it and try to balance both reactant side as well as the product side. As I already told you, it is a trial and error method. Okay, balancing the chemical equation is a trial and error method. Why? Because the already potassium was balanced. So but when I start to balance the hydrogen and oxygen, the potassium has started to imbalance. That means the number of potassium atoms have increased. So now what happened, I have increased the number of atoms of potassium in the reactant side as it has error. Okay, so balancing equation is something which is trial and error method, which is being given in examination, which may be any equation, you have to try to balance. Yes. So without balancing, if you write, you will lose the marks. Please keep it in mind. Next question, children. See, what are ionic compounds? Again, it's a repeated question in 2019 model paper. They have asked, explain any two properties of ionic compounds. Students, if you look at the properties of ionic compounds, there are so many properties of ionic compounds. Here they have asked only two properties to write. So what are the properties of ionic compounds? Ionic compounds are, solid, they are hard, and they are brittle. Okay. And if we talk about their solubility, ionic compounds are soluble in, water, but they are insoluble in petrol, diesel, and kerosene. And they have high melting point, high boiling point. And they also have strong electrostatic force of attraction between the molecules. Any two you can write, dear students. Okay. But keep it in mind, this year we have a, guarantee that this question may be asked in the examination. It's a very important question. Nimma examination alli ee varsha ee question anna keluvanta chances tumba ide. So please concentrate on this particular topic. Yes. Moving to next question. The amphoteric oxide among the following is anta keltidini. Nanu nimge already helidini example for amphoteric oxide is aluminum oxide as well as the zinc oxide. Check ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಸ್, ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇದೆ. So remove all the other options which has been given here. Write the answer as zinc oxide, because you know that metal oxide which react with both acids and base to give rise to salt and water, we will call it as amphoteric oxide. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಿರುವಂತ example aluminum oxide ಮತ್ತೆ zinc oxide. So zinc oxide is given in this option. Yes. And moving to diagram part, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ dear students, in crash course ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ 3 marks ಗೆ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಅವರು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಿಂಕ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಆ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ 3 marks ಗೆ ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಟು ಡ್ರಾ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಆನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಈ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಯಾರಸಸ್. ಏನು ಅಪ್ಯಾರಸಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಆನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಏನಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಬರ್ನ್ಸನ್ ಬರ್ನರ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಬರ್ನ್ಸನ್ ಬರ್ನರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಬರ್ನ್ಸನ್ ಬರ್ನರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ವೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಕ್ಡ್ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ವೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಹೀಟ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಪೀಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಡೌನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾತ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ವಾಟರ್ ಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, it is entering into the test tube which is having some amount of water in it. So ಈಗ ಈ test tube ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? We are observing the bubbles. So these bubbles are the examples for the hydrogen gas. Apparatus ಏನೇನಿದೆ, you have to make a mind map of it. Mind map ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So that is very important. Understand? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಂತದ್ದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಪೀಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಥ್ರೂ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Okay, don't skip to understand these diagrams. And few students have asked me that ma'am, please teach me to write the chemistry diagram, because I have only uploaded the bio and physics diagrams. So by Sunday I will do this. That means I will be uploading how to write the most important diagrams which has been given in the chemistry in your examination. Yes. So this particular question, if they ask in the examination, you will get 3 marks, dear student. So don't ignore learning this diagram. Okay, so this particular diagram. Yes. So next question, see. So I have written some questions, some of the examples here. So metals which react with the cold water. Which are the metals which react with the cold water? In yesterday's crash course, I was teaching you that when it comes to the reaction of metals with the water, not all the metals will react with the water. That means cold water. Not all the metals will react with the hot water. We have some difference in between these. So you have to write down, children. The metals which react with the cold water. In yesterday's crash course, you have learned. Very good. Most of you are answering for it. Very good. I appreciate your involvement in answering the questions. Yes. Metals react with the cold water, children. So that is potassium and sodium, because they are highly react metal. They react vigorously. And ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿನ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಬೀಕರ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ವಾಟರ್ಗೆ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ವಿಲ್ ವಿಗರಸ್ಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಹಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್. ಒಂದು ಹಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ವಿಗರಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹಾಟ್ ವಾಟರ್? The metals which react with the hot water we have learnt is the magnesium. Magnesium will react with the hot water. And we have understood the metals which do not react with cold water and hot water will react with the steam. Okay. The metals which react with the steam is aluminium and also iron. Aluminium and iron, these are the metals, they will react with the steam. Okay. Importantly, you want to know, children, because there is chance of asking these particular questions in the MCQ. MCQ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನೋಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಓಕೆ, 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು MCQ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂಡ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಥವಾ 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನೋಡಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ವಿಲ್ ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್? Define alkalis. Give 2 examples for alkalis. I have told you in the yesterday's crash course there is difference between the alkalis, and also I also told you about the one more concept. Okay. So what is meant by alkali? Let us now talk. So when we talk about alkalis, alkalis are the bases that are soluble in water. And you must know, not all the bases are soluble in water. Only the bases which are soluble in water, we will call it as alkalis. Only bases which are soluble in water, we will call it as alkalis. Example for these alkalis are, so I told you which are the metals which are soluble in water, we will call it as alkalis. Example for this is sodium and potassium, because sodium and potassium will be soluble in water. So they are the examples for the alkalis. I think you are clear with this concept, dear students. Do you have any doubt what is meant by alkalis? Did you understand what is meant by alkalis? It is given in your textbook, children, page number 41. You can observe they have given sodium oxide combining with the water to form sodium hydroxide, and potassium oxide combining with the water to form potassium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide and also the potassium hydroxide, both are the example for alkalis. You want to write sodium hydroxide, formula is Na2O. Sodium hydroxide formula is Na2O. Potassium hydroxide formula is K2O. So these are the bases. They are the bases which are soluble in water to form the respective hydroxides. Understand, children? So define the alkalis is an expected question. Yes. Next question. See, at ordinary temperature, the surfaces of the metals such as magnesium and aluminum and zinc and lead are covered with the thin layer of oxide. Why is the question? At ordinary temperature, these metals are covered with the thin surface of the metal. What is the reason? So this is a very important topic, children. In the yesterday's class, I have taught. Let me see who has understood this concept and is giving the right answer. I repeat the question. At ordinary temperature, the surface of metals such as magnesium and aluminum, zinc and lead are covered with the thin layer of oxide. Yes. So most of you are giving the right answer to prevent from further reaction. Yes. So it is not reaction. You want to write down a word called oxidation, children. See, it is important. See, at ordinary temperature, magnesium, aluminum, zinc or lead, they are covered with the layer of oxide because, see, this layer is important to prevent these metals from further oxidation. ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ನ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ನ ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Very important. The metals are further having the prevention from getting oxidized. So it will prevent the oxidation of the metals. Okay, and by preventing the oxidation of metals, okay, it is protecting the metals from getting tarnished, children. Okay, so that is very important. ಈ oxidation ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, I think you are clear with this concept. Next concept, children, define anodizing ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. See, anodizing ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಡೂ ಯು ನೋ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 42. ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 42 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೂ ಯು ನೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ anodizing ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ anodizing? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ದ ಥಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ. ಒಂದು ಥಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಿ, ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಅ ಥಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ when it is exposed to air, and what happens, this aluminum oxide coat will be giving the resistance for the further corrosion. Main important thing ನೀವು ಏನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೆಟಲ್ ಕೊರೋಡ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊರೋಡ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ರೀತಿ, ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆನೋಡೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, there is a formation of thick oxide layer of aluminum. ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ನ ಒಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೂ ಆನೋಡೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೂ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ನ ಒಂದು ಥಿಕ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡು ಯು ನೋ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೋಕಸ್. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್, ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ವೆನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. ಐ ನೋ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟು ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್. Next, so these are some of the important questions for this session to student. ಒಂದು ಕೆಲವೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ, ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕ್ರಾಶ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಐ ಥಾಟ್, ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಎನಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೆಸನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೂಡ ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸಿ, ಆಲ್ ದ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮರ್ಕ್ಯುರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ ರೂಮ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, metals are strong, metals are solid ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So most of the metals are solid, but when it comes to the mercury is liquid at its room temperature. Okay, and I also told that metals have high melting point and high boiling point, but gallium and cesium are the two metals which have the low melting point. You must know, it is given in that textbook. It is given in the textbook. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. Yes. Next, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು that all the metals are lustrous, but ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಲಸ್ಟ್ರಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ. ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಲಸ್ಟ್ರಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ One of the non-metals which is showing the lustrous properties iodine. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Okay, next. See, one of the non-metal called carbon, okay, it can exist in different forms. So the different form of the carbon we will call it as allotrope, dear students. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. Okay, so carbon being the non-metal, it is existed in the different forms. We will call the different forms as allotrope. So allotropes of carbon ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಗ್ರಾಫೈಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. These are the allotropes of carbon. Okay, and diamond being an allotrope of carbon, it is the hardest metal. It is the hardest natural substances ever known. And this diamond is having the high melting point, also high boiling point. Very important students, you want to note down. Okay, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ high melting point ಇದೆ, high boiling point ಇದೆ. Next, graphite. See, graphite being a non-metal, it is a good conductor of electricity. ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, non-metals are not the good conductors of electricity, or we can say they are the poor conductors of electricity. But allotrope of carbon, the graphite, which is one of the allotrope of carbon, which is a non-metal, is the good conductor of electricity. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸಿ lithium, sodium and potassium, they are so soft, so that is the reason they can be cut with the help of knife. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And these metals have the low densities and they also have the low melting points. Okay, and alkalis ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. Alkalis are nothing but the bases that are soluble in water. ನೋಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ವಾ ರೀಜಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು. ಡು ಯು ನೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ವಾ ರೀಜಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ವಾ ರೀಜಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸಿ, ಆಕ್ವಾ ರೀಜಿಯಾ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ hydrochloric acid and also the concentrated nitric acid in the ratio of 3:1. ಇದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶೋ ದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿತ್ either water or with the oxygen or with any kind of metal solution or with the acid. But aqua regia is one of the solution. Okay, it is a very corrosive in nature. It is a corrosive ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, corrosive ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ. Okay, aqua regia is a corrosive in nature and it is a fuming liquid. So fuming liquid ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Okay, fuming ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ actually which is producing the smoke ಅಥವಾ ವೇಪರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Fuming is nothing but it produces the smoke ಅಥವಾ ವೇಪರ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಕ್ವಾ ರೀಜಿಯಾ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆಕ್ವಾ ರೀಜಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ hydrochloric acid and the concentrated nitric acid in the solution of aqua regia? Yes, very good. 3:1. That is nothing but, see, we have to look at the ratio kuda nodkolbeku, very important adu. Okay na? So aqua regia nalli enagirutte, concentrated hydrochloric acid and nitric acid enagutte, it is in the ratio of 3:1. And when we drop the gold to it, it will be easily dissolvable. Gold ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟಿನಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫೈನ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನೌ ವಿತ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ನೋಡಿ, ನೀವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ನ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸಿ, ನೋಬಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೀಲಿಯಂ, ನಿಯಾನ್, ಆರ್ಗನ್. ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಸೋಡಿಯಂ, ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ, ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ, ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ. ಅದರ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ 20 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನನ್ನ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಚೆಕ್ ಔಟ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಫಸ್ಟ್ 20 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Okay, so check out the elements given in the metals and non-metals, their atomic numbers, and also the electronic configuration. Okay, and in the valency and valence electrons ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Let me ask you a last questions at this particular topic. So now, if you look at the aluminum, ಈಗ aluminum ನ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ what is the number of valence electrons present on aluminum? Let me see who will answer first. Who will answer first? ಯಾರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೋಡೋಣ. What is the number of valence electrons present on the aluminum? What is the number of valence electrons present on the first correct answer is given by Mujahidul, followed by Spectrum and Thanu, Anand Kumar. Okay, many of you have given. Fine. So you have now given the right answer that aluminum has 3 valence electrons. What is the valency of aluminum? What is the valency of aluminum? Okay, let me see who will give the right answer. Okay, many of you are giving right answer. Shashank, Venkatesh, okay, Smile, Taskim, many are giving. Okay, again, the valency is also 3. Very good. Yes. See, valence electrons are also 3. Valency is also 3. Because, children, see, valence electrons are nothing but the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit of that particular atom. You can check out whatever the electrons present in the last shell, they are considered to be the valence electrons. But what is meant by valency? Valency is nothing but the combining capacity of that particular element or the atom. See, now if you look at the aluminum, see, on the aluminum's outermost shell, 3 valence electrons are there. But now if aluminum have to obtain the stability means it need 8 electrons, right? So out of 8, 3 are present. How many more aluminum is needed? 5 electrons are needed. But for the aluminum, it is difficult to take 5 electrons. So instead what happened, aluminum will lose 3 electrons. Understand? It can easily lose 3 electrons. So you can do, what you can do is number of valence electrons to find out the valency minus the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit by 8. Okay. So if you minus 8 minus 3, that is 5. Okay. What is this? This 5 is the number of electrons needed to get the octet configuration. What is the valency? What is the valency? Valency is 3 because it can easily lose the 3 electrons. Very good. Okay, I think you are clear with this topic, children. Okay, tomorrow's topic is, okay, we are done with today's class. You want to know what is valency, what is valence electron, atomic number and all. Very good. Yes. So tomorrow we are starting the carbon and its compounds lesson, dear students. So tomorrow is actually Saturday. So Saturday I am starting carbon and its compounds lesson. Monday morning I am starting periodic classification of elements. Okay. So that's all for today's class. I hope you found the entire session useful. If you found this video useful, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. And do share this video with your friends and suggest your juniors to subscribe to my channel for the upcoming class 10th science preparation. And yes, students, I hope you found this video useful. Kindly drop your valuable feedback once the live session get over. Okay? Yes. And the physics part has been uploaded by Deepa ma'am. She has uploaded the second video in her channel yesterday. You can check out. As we have promised that within 20 days of crash course, we are going to complete the entire physics, chemistry and biology. So physics is also continuing. Okay. So check out the physics videos also. Get maximum marks in the science examination in your board examination. Okay. Get maximum marks in science in your board examination. Yes. Thank you so much, children. Okay. I will be posting this particular PDF as a homework. Okay. So you can work on it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Carry on.